here with head coach Allison Lawrence and freshman Delaney Russell. Coach, I kind of want to start just by asking you a little bit about the person sitting next to you. Obviously a big match in the first rivalry game for Delaney, and kind of expanding on her role as the season's gone along. So what can you say about the work the freshman's done?
Yeah, I think it's been super exciting to see Delaney's growth over the season. And then I feel like every time in the season I've checked in with her about, like, how are you liking your role? What are the challenges? What are the really good things? What are you learning? Her answer is always gratitude, and just explaining, like, I can't believe how much I'm learning from getting to do a role that I haven't been in before. She's always been a go-to player, and just a star on every team she's been on. And I feel like when you transition to college and you are following the footsteps of seniors ahead of you and you're figuring out, like, how do I support and be a go-to player at the same time and get thrown in matches where we need a kill right now or start in a set where we need a big turnaround, those are hard roles, and those are very fluid and demand a lot of different parts of your brain. But she's just ready for all of it, and I think has such a healthy perspective on herself and what she needs to do, and so it's just so fun to work with. She's so fun to coach. So, and then I think if you've been in our gym, regardless of where, but especially here, the time she's gone in and taken a swing, you just, like, hear it and feel it, and the whole crowd is like, whoa, in a way where the impact is very visceral. You feel her impact as much as you see it. And so, I don't know, I think sky's the limit, and it's so exciting to see those glimpses of, like, what a superstar she is and is going to be. And so, I don't know, pretty fun.
Yeah. Some of the favorite photos from the gallery on Friday night were celebration shots of you, Delaney. So what can you say about that, that kind of match and that energy and how you played that night?
I was so excited. I feel like since being recruited, I was always like the MSU rival, like, it's just gonna be so awesome, and I was just thankful to be a part of it and be able to contribute what I could. But I think I'm excited for when we meet him again. But yeah.
For you, Delaney, just first season as a Griz, just what's it been like, just kind of assimilating in this group? Like you mentioned, you had your best game against the Cats in the rivalry game, but what's it been like just this season, kind of getting in the mix with everybody?
Yeah, I think it's been fun. Every single game, I feel like what we talk about in the locker room about things that can be better, things that were so good, like, it's just every single game is just, like, bit by bit better. And I think that the rest of the games that we have going forward, like, I'm just excited to see what's going to happen and be able to put it all together. So,
as a young player, when you're working with players like Paige and Maddie, just what have they kind of taught you about college volleyball and just kind of maybe the day-to-day life of this, just because they've been playing for so long and have so much experience?
I think those two, I honestly, like, couldn't ask for two better players to look up to. I think that they are so, like, uniquely different in their own ways, and I think that there's parts of my game that are similar to both of theirs and things that are super different. But I think just being able to look at their energy and their, like, love for the game and their love for their teammates is just honestly so inspiring. But even off the court, like, they're so focused and they just, like, have so much love and gratitude for being here, and it's just awesome to be able to kind of look up to that. But
for you, Allison, just kind of thoughts from the match and maybe what the team can kind of take going forward now as the kind of the back half of conference play gets going here.
Yeah. I think, again, I feel like a broken record a little bit. There's great things happening, and I think some bright spots against MSU, but I also think we are in big moments. Like, I think we broke down more against MSU, to MSU's credit for sure. I think they put us under that kind of pressure than we had in previous matches. And so, again, I think we've made a lot of aggressive lineup changes, and I think we have to continue to do that to find what scores us the most points, especially once we're getting to 20 points. And I think, that last set against MSU, we had some momentum, and it kind of looked like, okay, we might at 23 all, like, finish that point and then get the next one. And so it feels very close and within reach, but also to fall short again is also frustrating. But I think it's just, we're in this place now. You find yourself in these places in life, in sports, out of sports, and I think the only answer is to fight harder, to keep going, to trust what you're doing well, and then to look at the places that you need to find growth in and fight for growth. And I think the answer's simple. The doing it is really hard, but we have a lot of hard workers that display courage every day, so I think we're going to get there.
Coach, when you have to find new players year in and year out, what's it kind of like for you when a freshman like Delaney makes an impact on your roster?
I think, every year you look for players that kind of are going to out-recruit your current roster in a way. You're going to bring someone in who's going to fight for time as a freshman and not just wait their turn and have to have experience graduate. So I think that's what you want. And I think in volleyball that looks a specific way at the juniors level where, Delaney was playing in big time matches against players that were going to Power 5 schools and physical athletes that were a lot bigger than her on the block, and she's having to do things that you have to do as a freshman to hit against big blocks and to make big plays. And so I think she's doing exactly what we saw her doing in club and was prepared to do. And so, yeah, you hope that shows up when there's more and more pressure in a different arena. And it has, and I think that's a testament to her mental toughness that piece has stayed sharp and consistent with who she was as a younger player.
Thank you.
And this is kind of building off Kyle's question, but you will see the Cats again in just a few short weeks. So, anything you're taking away from this matchup going into that one in a few weeks?
For sure. I think we have to have an answer for their block. They have a very physical block and a great defense behind it, and I think they really had our number in certain rotations and certain matchups where we have to find an answer for that. So that's not just one or two players choosing different things in the air. That's us choosing different systems to stress their block out in different ways, block and defense. So I think if we can do those things, then we're going to be in position to win sets. And I think we can. So we've done that. There's a lot of teams in our conference with great blocking numbers. ISU's one of them. Weber's a huge physical blocking team, so I think we're going to get some good chances to practice different things before we see MSU again.
Allison, what do you want the mindset of the team to be moving forward?
I think just fearless. I mean, I know that's easy to say and a little bit cliche, but I think, it's, to me, for myself and for our group, it's pretty immature to wallow in what's going on and what our record is. And the reality is that every game that we are headed into is an opportunity to play at our best and to find our rhythm. And I think, it's not just short term. This is about every player's full career. Even if you're a senior, it's about what legacy you want to leave behind, how you're leading through adversity, how you're leading through struggle. So I want a team that is fearless. So we aren't afraid of struggle. We aren't afraid of what people think. We aren't afraid of, statistically where we are. That's what I want. And I think if you can do that and build that toughness, it serves you well in so many areas. So the answer is simple. It's like face it and embrace it and look at yourself and keep going. And I think you can grow pretty strong from that.
Delaney, what about for you? I'm sure some of the teams you've been on growing up have been pretty good. What's it like maybe facing some adversity that you might not have faced in your volleyball career before?
I think it's fun to kind of live in the moment of it and embrace it. And I feel like us as a whole group have learned a lot. And I think moving forward, facing this adversity, head on, record aside, whatever adversities we have faced aside, just continuing to be fearless and press on and keep looking forward.
Okay, Halloween this week. Question, do we like scary movies?
No. Do not like scary movies.
Okay,
absolutely
why not?
I don't like to sit there and be scared. I would rather sit there and laugh for 2 hours than sit there and hide my face in my covers.
Okay.
No,
all right.
Too scary.
Coach?
Good point.
No, not a fan?
No, I don't like to feel scared. I don't like jump scares. I don't like horror. I live with someone who really appreciates that stuff, so I've tried to be intellectual about it and see the beauty in a great horror film, and I physically can't get through it.
So if I asked for a favorite one, there's not a favorite scary movie?
No.
No. All right.
That's a nope.
No. That's a no.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. Thanks, Sean.
So they offer a